Our partners at BetOnline continue to be your #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including this year's Wimbledon Finals, Major League Baseball, all the latest fighting news, and this season's NFL. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today. Receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BLEAV to get the bonus and get into action.
I don't even have that high of a body count yet.
What is your body count?
I've been with 8 women, probably a little more now. I think like 10 women because I just did a scene a little while back, and I've been with like 14 men.
Okay, so prior to you having an OF, regular you, before you became who you are right now in this industry, how many people were on your body count list at that point? Because I know it always goes up.
2 men and 5 women.
All right. I wish I could say the same, but actually probably not. I've been Miss Texas before I was Miss Texas, and I'll always be motherfucking Miss Texas.
Hello, I'm Adelia. I am an internet whore who's celibate in real life. Been almost 2 years without dick.
How's that going for you?
I keep wanting to lose it, but I'm staying strong.
Nice. Have you been tempted? Have you almost crossed the line? Are you just like staying away from everything altogether? Because, you know, are you like doing it for what reasons?
I have just only ever, I feel like, experienced fuckboys or just people that always end up breaking my heart. So I almost broke it last Saturday with a guy who I'm actually pretty into, but all we did was make out and had a little celibate sleepover. So I'm just holding out.
So are there rules? Like, what is it? Just penetration? Is it oral sex?
I haven't done anything.
Everything?
He's actually the first guy I even kissed in 2 years.
Okay. And is that by choice?
Yeah.
Or it's like, you just, like I said, it's like sometimes we isolate ourselves because we're either healing or trying to figure out like what kind of partner do we really want? And I feel like sometimes, you know, when we establish that we may have our picker off of, like you said, fuckboys, it's like sometimes we also project that energy without knowing it. It's like, so when we don't really sit down and sit with ourselves and be like, what do I really need from a partner?
Yeah.
What makes me happy, and not just being validated by just the first boy that's like, oh, you're pretty, I love your hair.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes as women we kind of cling on to like the fuck boys because it's like easy, and even though in a sense it's not easy in the long term, in the beginning it's easy because they're telling us what we want to hear.
Stories of like they were with a boyfriend and then they broke up and then the tapes were released. That was literally the first thought in my brain.
It could happen. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Have you had a celebrity slide into your DMs?
I don't think so. Like, maybe some famous people, but I don't want to say names.
Have you slid into somebody's DMs?
No.
Okay. When is the last time that you had sex?
If I don't count porn, I guess it's been a while since I chose not to be in a relationship. Yeah.
So, okay, that's a topic because, we have this conversation with me and my girlfriends, and like they're in the business, and they say that when it's for work, it doesn't count. But does it really not count? You're still fucking.
Yes, I have to agree. I think it doesn't count because I think it's about a person's mindset. So I'll say it like that. I think if you're true to yourself and you know that what you're doing is a job, then if it's really a job for you, then it's a job and it doesn't count. But if it's not really a job for you and you're there to like really feel things and you're not being professional and it's just all about that, then I could see how people would say
like
that.
I was never there trying to date anyone, but I definitely like what I do for a living. So therefore it's like, you know, I'm going to get mine. So I feel like if you're coming, then shouldn't it count?
No, I have to say no.
I mean, you're not the only one, because like, my girlfriends are always like, no, it doesn't count. I'm like, but wait, you just did a scene. They're like, that doesn't count. I'm like, where me, I haven't had sex in months and I'm not doing any scenes. I'm just over here, you know, I'm a virgin again. So you're 21. TikTok is obviously one of the biggest platforms out there for like social media and you know, influencers. How did you kind of make your splash on TikTok to make you kind of stick out besides, you know, the crowd to where you were on an Alexis Texas Explorer page?
Yeah, so my TikTok started really funky, super rainbow with my hubby Candy Can, which you probably know him, and we just sort of went viral for just being like the craziest, cutest couple on TikTok.
Now, was it just like day in the life? Was it kind of like y'all were doing skits? Because I'm kind of not so familiar with TikTok. Obviously, I know the platform, but I'm not one of those people who do like the dancing type things. But I've also recently, within the last 2 years, more explore and kind of get knowledge from it. etiquette. So what kind of aspect would we see you on?
Yeah, so we're like super rainbow, breaking iPhones, not doing dances.
Love it.
Super unique, like crazy shit. Like when you see us on the For You page, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like this is
It's like
crazy.
you have to click on it and watch what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
And Ken is just super rainbow and funny, and just people could not believe like that we were really dating. They thought, you know, he might be gay, like this can't be possible, like what's happening here? So I feel like it just grabbed everyone's attention, and they just became obsessed because they wanted to know like what happens next. Like,
Was he the one that was more kind of on TikTok like first, and then your relationship started? Like, or did you both go in knowing as a couple that y'all were gonna do this like new, show your who yourselves are, and kind of just embrace the world?
Yes, it was.
Or have
him.
the world embrace you, I guess I should
It
say.
was definitely him first. I honestly didn't even have a TikTok page yet. I was fresh in LA. I was just interning at this creator house. And then he like scouted me, honestly. He scouted me and he was
You sound like you're down for it. I mean, it sounds like a good ride with the scouting.
Yeah, he scouted me and he was like, do you want to shoot TikToks? And then I swear to God, like from that day, like everything.
Did you kind of like take him serious at that point, or were you like, oh, it's just trying to like, you know, did you know that he liked you at that point, or did you know what you were kind of walking into?
No, because it was like literally the first day I met him, and then that's like when we started TikToks, and then like before you knew it, we were like pretending to date for TikToks, and then we like, I was confused. I was like, wait, like, are we actually dating, or like, are we just filming videos? I was having a great time. Of course, I came to LA to, you know, pursue acting. I was in acting school, and then all of a sudden, I was just, you know, doing TikToks. So it was really, really fun for me. And he had a really clear idea in his mind of what he wanted. And so he would just technically tell me what to do, and I was like, okay, I'm up for it. Like, I love acting.
Nice.
I'm trying to be a character, and he knows like what he's doing behind the cameras.
Oh my God, yeah, I really like, probably like just to be like Cayman. I know it's like so dangerous because like I'm not on birth control.
How many times have you gotten pregnant, Miss Lady? How many porno babies have been produced?
No porno babies ever, because like, yeah, I just.
So you just like to be Camden?
Yeah.
Several times?
Yeah.
Are you one of those people like you'll come in the morning and you'll walk around with it all day long? Just let it ooze out of you?
Well, usually it's like with my, like, just with like my boyfriend I'm seeing, usually I'm like not a cream pie on set person, because I'm like, no, I don't want any like set babies, but like.
Well, birth control, you know, but yes.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not on birth control.
I mean, you like to be Camden and you're not on birth control.
I know.
You're a risk taker,
I know, I'm
okay?
playing like a dangerous game.
Who are your favorite porn stars to work with?
My favorite porn stars to work with. I love, well, obviously my best friend Kendra Sunderland. I love Luna Star, Gina Valentina. Oh my God, so many fucking people.
Is there anybody that you haven't worked with that you want to see
Gil?
on your list? Ooh, she's eye fucking me, guys. I'm scared. I was kidding. I know it's one of those things that we've seen each other, but I feel like I was going out at the same time. Like I never really was.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I did was with Elegant Angel, and I feel like I don't remember. Yeah. I don't know why you were my girl movie. That was the last movie that I shot. We did it in Arizona.
Yeah.
If I ever go back and return, you know, you might get your shot, Carmen. Yes. Who knows?
Fingers crossed.
What would you say? Do you have a crazy either Uber story, Lyft story? Do you have any crazy experiences?
That was my craziest one. Like the guy was like calling me like, can I get coffee? Can I stop? It took him 3 hours, poor guy. No, I'm kind of anal about watching whether they go in the right direction, and sometimes they don't, and they pretend that,
So you're on
to
top
get
of
lost.
it. You're just like,
Yeah.
I know where you're going. I feel like for me,
I'm
I've
the
never
mom.
had
Yeah.
usually bad experience. Sometimes weird when they know you're kind of drunk, like back in the day
Yeah.
when they had your like number where it wasn't like screened. Like it would
Yeah.
go to your thing and they'd be like, hey, because they would
Yeah.
drunkenly listen to your girlfriend's conversation and figure out who you were. And I'm like, weird. But I feel like when I was more out of town, like New York was the worst time, and the only time that I knew that it was something bad was happening. Not really bad, but like being bamboozled was like, because my friends were from New York. They're like, you're taking us in circles. I'm like, I would have never known because you don't like, because they were just
Yeah.
trying to run up the meter of like what it was. And I'm like, just let me out of your car, sir. I don't know what you're trying to do, but we're not
You
doing
gotta
this
be
with
safe.
me.
You gotta be safe. Yeah.
everybody, like who I work with and you work with, and this like 2 different days apart could be 2 totally different experiences. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's safe and really nice that you can kind of hold your ground and really kind of put yourself in that situation, but still be part of the adult industry and what makes you feel comfortable. And I think a lot of people and performers don't really do that, and they kind of just do what they're quote unquote supposed to do, what they think people want them to do. And I think that it kind of burns them out a lot more quickly than it would be if you just did it the way you did it. For me, I come from, you know, people pushed me to want to do all types of different scenes that I was like, I'll do it when I'm ready to do it, because then I know that I fully will be in that scene and I'll fully be present to give you what you want.
And I do think that is something that, as we talked about before, comes with age. When I was 18, 19, I didn't have the ability to say no, especially being asked twice, because sometimes that happens and they'll be like, are you sure? That are you sure when you're a young girl?
People pleasing. It becomes
It becomes a very scary thing, and then you're asking yourself, well, am I sure? Am I making this too big of a deal? And the answer generally is no. That's your boundary, and everybody's boundary looks different.
For sure. So what is your favorite type of scene to do?
Oh, I love a group scene. I love as many people as possible.
What's the most number of people that you've been with in a scene?
In a scene, I've only been with up to 4 people.
Okay.
In my personal life, that's a little different.
What's in your personal life?
I love threesomes in my personal life, and I think the niche that I didn't mean to fall into it, but I fuck a lot of twins.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's happened 3 times.
Do their parts look alike?
Depends on the twin.
Ever in my life. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'd be opposed to it, but I mean, do their dicks look exactly the same, or is it boy and female twins?
No, because generally girl twins are like too smart for that.
Okay.
But like,
generally,
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Do you find it offensive, or do you think that it's like rude or like not proper etiquette when people ask and request for a song?
Depends.
Okay.
If it's like a super basic ass generic song, like if you put Bad Bunny, stop with the Bad Bunny already. Like you're not even saying a Bad Bunny song. You're just saying his name? Bad Bunny.
Because they probably don't know the songs, and so they just
bugs me. But if you come up to me and like, yo, Charisma, have you heard this so and so? Trust me, it's the hottest shit. Okay, I'm gonna listen to you.
Even if you haven't like heard it first. Or because like that's a gamble, and like
a gamble.
So it's like because it's like you really it's a big trust to be like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with it before I listen to it. I'm more saying like if somebody like if you said you're going to all these like younger like clubs like with these people like where they're putting you on the music. I'll trust them more. You'll trust them more.
I trust the younger cats more.
Okay. Because like sometimes I feel like I've been in places where DJs get offended to like ask for a song, and I personally probably would be offended to be asked to play a song. I'm like, you don't like what I'm playing?
If you're just the local D-boy who bought the section out over there and you want to hear your whack ass record, that happens all the time.
Do you
all the time? And I just like, hey, my AirDrop ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, bro. It's nothing I can do. You know, like. Or let me hear it. Or like if they get real aggressive, I'll just be like, yo, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
You should be honored if I play your record. Let me hear it first.
For sure.
Approach me before the
right
club.
Way.
Because guess what? The promoters are going to be like, fuck, Charisma's whack. We ain't going to book her no more.
Yeah. It's etiquette. That's why I feel like it's like
so 100%. Yeah. It's a risk. But yeah, I tend to listen to the 18 and overs or the high school kids.
Being in the business for as long as you have, is there anybody that you have not worked with and then you possibly maybe want to? Do you have a wish list? How does that kind of work? Do you just kind of just like a free for all?
And there's so many new people now.
There's so many new people that I don't even know their names. Like when you walk by the booth and I'm like, you're hot. What's your, and then like, and they're like, they've been in the business for 7 years. I'm like, where have I been? I'm
right,
like,
but
never
to you,
heard.
7 years is new. You're like, oh, so you're new.
Exactly, and that's the thing is like there's classifications I think of the porn world, and people don't understand that until you're in it for as long as us. But you know, hey, to each his own. I like women empowering women and doing what we love and having platforms that we can create and give the fans what we want.
Yeah.
I just don't know them all yet, but that's also why I came back to Exoticas, was because this is where you get to meet everybody.
It is, and you get to see everyone. I mean, I don't know. I reach out to a lot of people, and I've been pretty fortunate. I've been able to work with
so you're sliding in the DMs.
Yeah, I do. You know, there's a lot of people making a lot of great content. I don't know if everybody saw, I had a new scene I did recently. There's a guy, he came to America. He goes by the name Girthmaster. Never
Girth
done
master,
a studio
okay.
scene or anything. His dick is it's the
Girthy?
biggest white penis I've ever seen.
So like, is it like the liquid death can?
It is, yeah. I think it's
Did you
bigger.
compare? You should have done it side by
I know.
side.
I should have done it side by side.
Liquid
I mean,
death.
it was
It's
liquid
more than
death.
just the water.
Yep,
It's
a
the
good
same size of
barometer, yeah,
girth.
of Girthmaster. Yeah, it's a measuring tape for penises. You know, like if it's
Fuck the remote
Yeah.
control. Put your dick by the liquid death can. See how big it is. See how girthy it can be.
Yep, exactly.
So did you? What about that scene did you like? Because it was so thick.
I mean, yeah, it was really thick, and also he's just such a nice person, and also there was actually something like he's never been on a porn set or anything. He's just a guy that like I think he worked in some IT something like that. And he just had a regular job, and at some point he started an OnlyFans, and it just kind of exploded from Australia. So he's still very much there was like an innocence
It's
about
like the
him.
excitement, like a little kid of like waking up at Christmas when you're like, who's coming to set now? Who's coming to the set now?
Right, I know, and
I miss those days. You know?
He was so excited, but like so professional and so nice, and like it's almost like he just like it's like he just accidentally has this giant penis,
Accidentally.
And,
that's a good
so
accident.
it was really fun, and I actually like it. Like when I work with some of these, content creators, and they're big fans of mine. It's like it's exciting.
Okay, if you had a choice of dicks, I mean, I know you're going somewhere really. I actually feel like I know this answer later on. But okay, short or fat?
I like at least a little bit of girth.
Okay, so it has to be fat. Long or skinny?
More long.
Okay, so you want a fat, long cock. See, I knew the answer, but I had to have her say it herself.
Yeah. And it was so funny too because when I did VR, I was like, if this is what it's like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this.
I don't know what VR is now. I haven't shot porn in over 5 years. So back in the day, there was something that was similar, but it was very not fun for the performer because it's like you have to stay exactly still in every moment because they're like, it's a virtual reality type of thing. So it's like, it's very robotic. And at that time for me I love sex. And I was like, if I can't fuck back, like this isn't fun for anybody. I just feel like, here's my holes. And that didn't sit well with me because I have a fleshlight, so you can go use that hole.
Yes.
but yeah, so I could feel you on the sense of like, if this is how it is all the time, it's a bit extreme because it's like, you feel like you're in a device where you're like, I can't move, but my pussy is being fucked and I kind of like it and it feels great, but there's a lot of things going on here.
Totally.
But yeah, consider cheating. I mean, you guys would have to agree on where you're at in this relationship is completely exclusive. And I mean, there's this fighter, Sean O'Malley. Have you heard of him? Mm-hmm. He just said randomly, he's like, I cheat on my wife because I pay all the bills and we have an open relationship. And I guess it's not cheating if it's open, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I'm
Would you be in an open relationship?
No.
No.
I've done that before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not for you.
No.
Oral sex, sloppy or clean? You're a deep throat queen, but do you keep it sloppy?
I don't like spit. I don't like the spit on me, really. I let it drip on the ground, but I don't want the spit on my face. And I don't want it all in between my fingers. I don't like that feeling. Okay. But I'll do it, if he wants.
You're down.
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh. And you don't prefer.
But I don't prefer. I'd rather be so cute,
You like to get messy. You're from Texas, down and dirty.
Yeah. I like to make it hit the back and make those noises
Those are hot.
Yeah, I like
sexy. I like that for you.
Most embarrassing thing that's happened to you sexually? It could be on set, it could be off set.
Oh, sure. There's this new guy named Hollywood Cash, and he has a very, very large cock, and I was throating it, and so, I got
How big is very large? Can you show us with your hands? Okay.
I think he's 10 and a half inches.
10 and a half, all right. It's a big boy.
Yeah, he's big. And he throated me, and I got it all the way down, and when I unhinged my jaw and got it all the way down,
Unhinged
I farted.
your jaw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can slide a cock back. I mean, it will hit that part, but then there's some dicks where they're skinny enough where it can go all the way through your throat, down to your throat. There's only some dicks that can do that though. But he got it all the way down my throat, and then I remember the force of it made me fart.
Was it loud?
Yeah. And I
Did
said,
it
please
smell?
cut that out. No. No, because if they're loud, they don't smell, I feel like.
How do you know who is doing the research for this? If they're loud, they don't smell?
Most of the time, I feel, because that's like the silent but deadly.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's the research team on that one, but I don't know if that's accurate information here. But that is like embarrassing one.
Yeah, and I said, please cut that out.
Did they?
No.
Did you like act like it didn't happen afterwards and you just kept going?
It was pretty odd. No, I cut
There's
it.
no
I
turning
said,
back?
Yeah, I said, please cut that out. Like this year, I did my first gangbang, which I never thought in a million years I'd ever do something like that. And I started to like develop a fantasy of being used by multiple men this year. I like would talk about it in dirty talk, like in my private time and different things like that. So I started to like have that kind of get built in my mind, and then eventually I knew that it was coming. I knew I was going to do it, and then it happened, and that was really exciting.
I kind of want to show everybody what a good performer I am, because every time I'm on set and it's like, it's not like a boring scene where it's like, okay, you're gonna have to tone it down today, Lily. It's just gonna be like you're this shy girl or whatever, and you're just getting fucked. I'm like, okay. But if it's like I get to go fucking wild every time, the director's like, everybody on set's like, you're like a fucking whirlwind, Jesus Christ. And it's like you're doing good. And so it's like at this point I just want to have everybody see that. And because
I love that.
Yeah.
So what would you say that you know that makes you unique about you, that people are saying this repetitive thing about you that's like, oh girl, like you
I love sex so much. Like every part of like any person, like a woman, a man, like anything. Like I'll lick your sweaty feet, your ass, like your balls,
so
like
you're just
everything.
down for anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Have you always been that type of girl? Have you
Yes,
always
weirdly.
been like
I've always been like weirdly pervy.
Okay.
Like being a little kid, I'd like help my stuffed animals, and I was just and then like seeing porn and stuff and be like, ooh, there's like hentai. Oh my gosh, she's getting like fucked by tentacles, and then it's like, oh, this nasty fat old man's fucking her. I'm like, that's hot.
Have you ever had sex on his toilet seat?
I sucked a dick on a toilet seat, like me sitting on the toilet.
Okay.
Sucking a dick.
Okay.
And I was like, my belly was hurting. It was at the end of a long night, and I'm like, well, like we still want to keep going, but I'm like, I'm a bathroom man.
Do you like being spanked during sex?
Yes, I love being slapped in the face more.
Okay.
Because I mean I can take a hell of a hit. I feel like I've like trained my face like a fucking fighter. Because it's like a lot of times like I'll have someone fucking hit the shit out of me, but I don't bruise.
How do you
like,
train your face for this action?
Just having it happen over and over again.
So multiple places that they're being slapped.
Yeah, I mean like with the face though. Like the rest of my body, like you just squeeze me a little hard. I'm like, oh, it's some bruises.
Okay.
Fuck my life.
And was it because you just didn't think, like you said, that people would want to see you? Or is it because you didn't think that you could be sexually?
And what my dad would think.
Okay.
Because he has such strong beliefs, and it's a different culture over there. Like it's so different, and like he's very disappointed. He doesn't talk to me to this day.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a big disappointment coming from him. But my mom's very supportive. My brother's very supportive. He's the only one that's really like against it. So I think I was really scared what he would think.
Okay. So then what was the final like decision, or what was the push?
I wanted to pay rent. I didn't want him to help me anymore. Like he was helping me all the time, and I was tired of it. Like
okay, so you wanted your own independence, and this is the way that you felt that was you were going to seek to get to this approval of for yourself, not him maybe, but you were hoping that like he would.
And there was an empowering thing with it, you know, like whenever I would do my solos, like it made me feel good about myself. And like, I mean, people are like, oh, you're seeking validation. Yeah, I guess I am. Okay. I mean, I do what makes me feel good.
Last year, I was in a really crazy fucked up place again. I was like really, this is probably the worst I'd ever been in a very long time. It was a year ago, and I was super on drugs, like heavy. Whippets. Really heavily, and Xanax and drinking.
That's like the can't like
the Nas thing. I was doing like, I'm not even fucking around. I was probably doing like 400 a day for like months straight.
400. What does that mean?
Like little canisters,
cans?
little disposable cartridges to reuse.
Okay.
So I would just fucking hit that thing till I woke up, till I fall asleep.
Do for you? Is it
it's
like
a head high?
Okay.
It's like, and the thing is it's that kind of high that you can't get again, so you keep doing it till you try.
So you
and
just
get
wanted
it.
to mask whatever was in your situation right now.
So
or at the time.
Yes, and when I say I everybody noticed it. Social media, everybody was. All my friends, nobody wanted to be around me anymore. It was probably the most loneliest I've ever been. I was literally falling apart and I couldn't stop. Like, literally, like, my best friend got to a point where she was like, I can't be around you anymore. Everybody in my family, they were like, this is... And I literally was, like, ready to go. I was like, I'm done. I don't fucking care. I was like, I didn't feel like I had any purpose. I felt like I kept failing at everything. And nothing was getting better. So I was like, fuck this. I was like, I'm ready. I was like, I don't need to keep going. I was like, experience life already, whatever. So...
What made you snap out of it?
So I didn't wake up for like almost 3 days. And I woke up, and when I say my face was so fucked up, my face had this weird, crazy rash thing on it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I had never seen myself like this. And I looked so disgusting that I just literally was like, I couldn't stop crying. I was like, I ruined my face. I was like, I can't believe it. Like, you know, I just started panicking. I'm like, what the fuck? And my body felt so deteriorated. Like, I couldn't even, like, breathe properly. Like, everything just was weird. And I was like, if I don't fucking stop, I was like, I'm gonna die. I was like, I was like, oh my God, I didn't just die right there. Like, so I literally was like, done. I was like, we're not doing it again. I was like, get it the fuck together.
Yeah.
Because nobody even wanted to help me. Like, nobody even cared. So I was like, fuck it. I was like, I literally had one shot. I was like, if I don't fix this shit, I was like, I'm gonna fuck myself. So I just decided that day to literally cut everything off.
Who came up to me, Tony T, was like, hey, here's some photos. And if you could, you know, lift this performer, and like slides me these bodybuilding chicks, like manhandling dudes sucking their dick in the air. And I was like, okay, first of all, I can't overhead press and suck somebody's dick. I know I can't do that. But I could probably do some of these things. And then I was like, is this what you guys really want me to do?
So did you do it?
Yeah, 100%. You've never seen the Jordy flip?
No, I don't watch porn.
There was no way.
That
At one
sounds
point,
crazy, but I
I'm
don't.
a person in the room. Have you seen that?
So
where I flipped Jordy.
You flipped Jordy,
Yeah.
and you
See the face.
My cameraman has seen it. I have not seen
Okay.
it. So you flip him, and his dick is still hard.
And not only that, but
If I was a man, my dick would go inside my body. If some bitch lifted me up and was like, whatever you're doing to it.
Jordy spoke no English, only Spanish, and thank God my Spanish is okay. So
Girl,
he's like, yeah,
I cannot with you. Okay.
Curled
What did you
him.
tell him in Spanish?
I was like, are you okay? I was like, basically, are you okay? Like, are you okay? And I'm all okay? And he would be like, yes, it's fine. And I'm like, okay, I hope you mean it. I curl him against this fireplace and blow him. Then here's
But
the
what do
deal.
you mean? What does that mean?
I mean, I physically curl
So
him.
you pick him up like he's facing you, and
Yeah.
you're picking him up, and you're just putting
and
his dick in his.
sucking his dick like that.
Oh my God.
Oh, no, it gets worse. So now I got to figure out how to get him from the wall, okay, to this bed where I'm supposed to start fucking him. Well, I can't do it gently because there goes the dom aspect of it that these guys are jerking off to. So I tombstone pile drive his ass into this bench. And I was like, what am I doing? And Tony's like, you're doing great. You're doing great.
I like that all of this is off the top of your head. You're like, where? I'm over here picking this guy up. I'm gonna bam on the floor.
It gets better because then Alexis, I
Are
have
you
to
a
flip
wrestler?
him. I should have been. I'm like, unfortunately, the sucking dick got in the way of the wrestling. Fuck you, WWE. But like, I had to flip him upside down so he could eat my pussy while I sucked his dick, and he's inverted.
So you did like a Prince Joshua on Jordy, but the
Yes.
opposite of
Because Prince used to roll them up, right? And then fuck them. Me, I'm literally like upside down with them. And I'm like, I do it with girls and guys. So like this scene with Jordy, then
I'm like,
Tony's like, we need a good finisher. And I was like, I don't know. And it was, remember that Superman this hoe? Hey. So I let him Superman while he's fucking my ass. And he's like full arms out. And I'm like, I'm doing this. He's doing this. And the camera, I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? Then it became the thing. And you know how many girls dropped other girls doing this?
So people were trying to do what we were doing?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, the companies were like, oh, hey, Lauren Phillips, you're really big. Why don't you try it with so-and-so? And Lauren's like, you know, I just have well, special strength. We're going to say that so it's not an inappropriate word, but it's like I just have special strength that I can do that to people.
Yeah.
Seth Gamble, I curled at 205 into a wall, and that was the only way Seth got to fuck me.
Nowadays I feel like everyone's trying to like be as savage as possible, as crazy as possible, like crazy fucking like that. Where in the 80s and 90s it was like very sensual and pretty, and like it felt like very real, like if that makes sense. Like
for sure, I think that it's definitely gone through waves of like what really like what's in, and I think that's fads within like society and like what people are kind of watching and things like that as well. I never watched porn in that era, but I like respectfully like the way that the women were women, and it was very more like glorifying like their beauty instead of like those things. So then it kind of came full circle, which I kind of felt like when I was in the height of my career with Gonzo, and I think things kind of like Elegant Angel was really big and put like showcasing girls as far and kind of like in that whole like kind of era, like what you're talking about, like the sensuality of like just real good sex about chemistry with that partner and not like doing off the wall crazy stuff, because I kind of fell in that thing where I like doing like semi-hardcore stuff, but I'm not all the way hardcore, like fuck me in my ass with a huge 10-inch dildo. Like that's just not my thing, but to each his own. For other people, I respect it. But for me, it was just like that teetering line, and porn for me kind of made me allowed to kind of find my femininity and my sexuality, and that's kind of, I feel like Elegant Angel and those types of companies kind of helped within that.
Yeah, definitely. And also in like the 90s, early 2000s, like all the porn stars, they would then become like, do you remember in like 2000s when MTV would do their whole like traveling like docu-series, and they would have like Jenna Jameson like be the host of it. Like I remember growing up as like a kid, and you would like watch and you'd be like, these are the coolest people ever. Like, these are the coolest people ever.
It's funny to watch those things now, because it's like everything from like the hairdos, even like the way that they shot things. Like now, like I would think it'd be crazy. Like they don't do things like the summer fest type things that they would do like that.
Yeah.
Like you could bring it back.
I know, it was such a great era. The guy I'm seeing is in LA right now. He doesn't live in LA.
Okay.
Love him. Football player. He just had a documentary come out on Netflix.
Okay.
If you know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I've been with him every single night since he's been in LA. And we had a late night. And then I woke up because I was like, set my alarms like.
Was it a late night, like a good late night,
So
like y'all were fucking all night long?
Yes,
or was it a
fucking
late
all
night, like y'all were like, fighting and like kind of those things? Or
so
partying?
good. Yeah, so good. And then he bought flights and we're going to Vegas tomorrow.
Nice. So how did you meet this special person? Did he slide in through your DMs, or?
I know how to slide into someone's DMs.
Okay.
Because like they just had something come out on Netflix, and I was like, I know so many girls are probably blowing him up right now.
Okay.
So then I slid in with a hi, with not the devil emoji that's purple, but do you know the red one?
Yes, I do. It's got
very,
a little tail looking thing and whatever. Okay.
Yes, it's very like, it's a weird emoji that like most people like, you don't send that.
Okay.
And then he was like, I've never seen someone use that emoji before, and I was like, I know.
You're like, yeah, hi, Johnny Devil.
Well, how about this? Do you know who Kazumi is?
Yes, she was on the my podcast.
She was?
Yeah.
Okay, very good friends with Kazumi.
She's great.
She is obsessed with producer Terry.
Ooh, Terry.
Producer Terry.
Did you hit it, Terry?
So, it's been an ongoing joke.
He's like, I don't know.
Kazumi says, I want to fuck Terry because Terry has a randomly 10-inch dick.
Okay.
Randomly.
Why is it random?
Because he weighs 90 pounds. So
he's all dick then? Is this what
all dick.
Does that intimidate you?
That's my boy. I'm proud of him. Yeah. So Kazumi, she came to film in Toronto because I want to fuck producer Terry. And then we have a video that went viral, 10 million views, of her trying to fuck him and him saying no because he had a meeting. That blew up, and now it's this thing that Terry gonna fuck Kazumi.
Was this meeting really important?
It was. It was for Rolling Loud.
Okay.
He shot.
So
Rolling
you would
Loud.
still turn her down if it was the same situation now?
If I wasn't busy, I would have probably done it.
No, but if you had to redo that situation, would you still deny it?
If I had a meeting, yes.
Okay.
So now.
To the businessman, smart man.
Yeah. But now AVN, everyone's talking because producer Terry gonna fuck Kazumi. It blew up. Then Kazumi posted this video today. Let me pull it up quick.
So this is in real time. This isn't like
this is
last
happening.
month. This is like now. I'm like, so
Yeah. It's the best. Here we go.
Terry's getting fucked this weekend.
Producer Terry.
Here we go.
Hey, producer Terry. I'm tired of these games. And if you want to fuck me, meet me in my room at 11 a.m. or else you're gay.
So tomorrow, 11 a.m., producer Terry's fucking Kazumi.
Can we watch?
He doesn't want it filmed.
I didn't say we could film it. I just said, can we watch?
Up to you.
I heard the giggles. I'll ask again. Have you ever, since you were so promiscuous with, or not really promiscuous, but you're very like open with your husband and just your sex life and being in the industry, have you ever or would you ever attend a swingers party?
We have.
Ooh.
We're in LA. I feel like this is like Swinger City Central.
Like look on the out? Were you just a looky-loo, or were you participating?
Yes.
Were you like kind of like warming up to things?
We were looky-loos.
Okay.
And so my biggest issue with those, or like at least the one that we went to, is I'm in the industry, so I'm tested. Everybody that I work with is tested. My husband's tested. We're all tested. Are you guys tested here? Are you? Can you show me a test? Did you take a test? No. Okay. Well, then I don't feel comfortable.
Condoms?
So they do have that, but like, who wants to? What's a condom?
Yeah, but when you're in a situation like that, unless
you definitely want to use one.
Unless I again agree with the whole testing part of thing like that, but I feel like I've only been to one by accident, and it was like I got shuttled there in this bus, not knowing where the fuck I was going. But I definitely never saw anybody's test. I wasn't involved, but I was watching. But I was the same thing too. And I don't think that it was somebody years ago. I don't think there was any condoms involved. But it felt like it was a room full of people that they had their own little encounters, and it wasn't super groupish. So, but then I feel like later on it could have kind of, but I feel like it kind of became something more afterwards, because I was like, all right, cool, I'm not participating, gotta go. When someone started to try to grab me, I'm like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they do that
because they want you to participate, right? I get it, because I'm there. I mean, I am watching, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you're there.
They started grabbing, because one of the girlfriends that I was there with, she started making out with somebody and and I was like, good for you, I'll see you downstairs. I'm gonna get a drink at the bar. Come find me. But in that situation was, I mean, nobody showed a test, nobody did whatever. So I can see in that aspect, after being a performer in a testing world, where that can be a little bit standoffish, where I'm like, I want to fuck you, but can you call me tomorrow when you have your test and you've done whatever? Because I also too, and the flip side was, when I saw people doing group things that didn't have condoms, and then they'd go to set, I'd be like, you're on my no list.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's at that time, testing was very different in the regulations. It was every 20 days or 18 days, or whatever. Wow. So it was a lot of things for I mean, if you went to a party last night but your test was still good from whatever, that's not necessarily what's going to happen today.
Homeboy didn't test.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. So it was just very, for a safety thing, I used to always say, it's like playing Russian roulette, and I already take choices already. I make that conscious decision myself that I'm not trying to put the gun in your hand. So
exactly.
I'm going to respectfully decline.
Yeah. So when we were watching, there was bowls of condoms in every room, even the kitchen and the living room. There's just condoms everywhere when we were at that party. But again, nobody was using them. And so, but yeah, we were just there to watch, because I've never been to one, and I hear all about them all the time. And I was like, let's go to one. Fuck it. Let's go see.
Did it turn you on?
I like watching
the voyeurs.
It was a live performance.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I got.
Well, it was for I did for OnlyFans. It was in a Tesla during the day downtown, and the wings of the door were up, and someone was driving the car, so that was wild.
Okay, and nobody stopped y'all? Did you see anybody looking at y'all fucking while the driving? Because it drives itself, or somebody else was in there driving it too?
No, someone was driving it. It was for Disciples of Desire, so you know how they.
I don't know. No.
Yeah, there was someone driving it, and people did see.
It was kind of hot. I mean, if I was walking, I'd be like, what is going on? But
I didn't know it was going to happen either. They were like, okay, so you're going to do this. And I was like, all right. And then the doors went up, and I was like,
did it make you hornier or excited, or were you like, who the fuck, is the cops going to come here?
Yeah, I was scared.
Okay, so you were scared.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Bet Online.